Hello, everybody, and welcome to this week's episode of Let's Talk Life with Leticia and Latrice. We're here at Radio Phoenix, bringing the world to Phoenix and Phoenix to the world. And today, you guys, I have a surprise. Mr. Blue Mitchell is my lovely surprise.
Let's make it happen. What's up, y'all? How y'all doing, Phoenix?
Hey, so you guys, Blue has agreed to come on with me to be a co-host for Let's Talk Live. We're about to get it in.
Yeah.
We're going to keep it popping.
It is about to get real.
It's going to get real. It's about to get real.
It's about to
get really real. So welcome to the show, Blue.
Thank you.
It's an honor to have you. And then today I have a wonderful guest. His name is Mr. Matt Connolly.
Hey.
Welcome to the show, Matt.
Hey, glad to be here. I'm not as hip as you two, but I'm just saying,
okay.
it's good to be here.
You couldn't tell, man. You look fly, man.
You fit right in, Matt.
Yes.
No pressure. And today, you guys, this is the relationship segment of Let's Talk Life, and our topic today is ethical non-monogamy.
Cool.
Then we're going to get into it. But before we do, we're going to sip a little tea. And the tea, you know what? Since we're on this topic, let's talk about R. Kelly.
Right?
Because to me, I'm getting an R. Kelly type of vibe here. I'm just kidding.
Hey,
No,
could be.
not like that. Not the illegal behavior, okay?
Oh,
but just the situation where, he was able to have an open relationship with multiple women at the same time. The women, in my opinion, because I said, look, all that underage stuff R. Kelly did, I do not condone that. But if you have grown women that have agreed to be with you and they know that you're with other women, they're grown. Nobody put a gun to their head and said, come have sex with R. Kelly, come live with R. Kelly in our house. And that's just me. People might hate me, might get mad about it, but I said, look, women are grown. They can make their own decisions.
Right.
Especially when money's involved. That's also very persuasive.
100% agree. I mean, men can be very persuasive. Women can be very, seduced. But vice versa.
As long as it's consensual.
Yeah, as long as it's consensual. So,
yeah.
I mean, but vice versa too. Women can be very seductive, and there's a lot of women that, even in like some countries, it's where there's less men than women. And where there's more men than women. I mean, women tend to take up more husbands, in certain
That sounds good. I need to get some more husbands.
Really? What country is that?
I'll look that up for you.
We need
I
to
just remember
Google
taking
that.
that at sex ed at ASU.
Well, the reason I bring up consensual is because it's ethical, but a lot of people are calling it these days consensual non-monogamy.
Right.
Well, so you'll hear those phrases interchange.
This is good. This is good. And that's just what I want to do, you guys. This is, when we start this conversation, as Matt was telling me, this is not to, pass judgment or, push any type of ideas on people. It's just, shedding light on a different type of lifestyle that people live. I myself am personally a monogamous person, and but hey, I believe in whatever other people believe in. If that's what you want to do, then enjoy yourself. Live your life.
Yeah, exactly. This isn't about recruiting or, getting people to join up into something. Yeah, this
Into the cult
right.
of non-monogamy.
Yeah, no.
We're going to have 15 girlfriends. Just kidding.
Oh my God, that's way too
That's
many.
too many?
Yeah.
I figured.
You want to see my calendar?
I know, because I'm like, how can people, I can barely even manage one person, let alone 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 people.
It just depends, though, on the length of time. I mean, 15 could be adequate.
Well,
got
and
it.
it also
Depends on
depends
the
on
schedule.
and the type of relationship you
Yeah.
have. You
Right.
might have you might be much more intense with one person. Another person you may see once a month, once a year.
Exactly.
So if
Exactly.
you work that out with the other person, then sure.
Especially if the person is asexual and they don't like sex, but they love your company, they love how to be able to, it's true. People out there don't like.
So this is what I want to do, you guys. First, Matt, if you can just take a couple minutes to explain what ethical non-monogamy is. Let's just get into that so that everybody can have a clear understanding, and then we'll kind of get into some other questions.
Sure. So non-monogamy, the basic tenet of non-monogamy is you have multiple relationships with people at the same time, and everyone knows about it.
There's no secrets and lies.
Exactly. I can't say that cheating doesn't happen in non-monogamy, but it's ridiculous that it happens in non-monogamy. There's no real need for it. So just a personal example, which may help to illustrate it. Right now I have a partner. She is dating another gentleman, and I am dating the wife of this gentleman. So we all know about it.
We all know about
Yeah,
it.
we're all on the up and up about it. I also have a couple of relationships with other people, not as, I guess, as intense, I would say.
Right.
But again, everyone knows about everybody.
Mhm. And that's what I want to ask. Is that the difference between cheating and ethical non-monogamy? Is that everybody is aware? Is that what the difference
That's the
is?
ethical part, yeah. It's
Mhm.
open, honest, and transparent.
So cheating is when you're lying and you're really sleeping with somebody behind your spouse's back. But when you're ethical non-monogamy, it's like, listen, I'm going to tell you right now, on Wednesday, I'm going to sleep with this person.
I have the perfect story. Like literally, I just got through talking to a friend of mine last night, and she was so against polyamorous relationship, open relationship. It's like, I'm straight monogamy because she's older, and was like, I just want one person, da-dee-dee, but is kind of stuck in her ways as far as don't want to live with anyone, was married for quite some time, just the sex wasn't as great, you know, with this person, but this person loves her, and now she's experienced like better stuff with other partners, and now she's like, well, I don't really want to have just one person anymore. And I'm like, that just flipped from, you know, 5 months ago when you said that I'm straight monogamy, I'm never gonna change, and you know, so people can change, and this is somebody that's older as well, so it's not even a discriminatory type deal. Like,
Right.
Yeah.
you know, you can do whatever it is that you want.
And you mentioned there's a capacity for love. This is something we talk about. I don't feel like I can only love you.
Mm-hmm.
I can love you and I can love you.
Yep.
I don't have finite amounts.
Yep.
Well, I think sometimes people do get into like a love triangle, and they're like, I'm in love with two people at the same time.
Yep.
I have even experienced that myself.
Oh, yeah.
It's
Yeah.
true. So, Matt, you said you were going to give an example, kind of like of what a non-monogamous relationship looks like.
Yeah, and I think that's the one I just described with me.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
Right. You did say
so,
that.
yeah, so that's, I mean, I think that's a pretty
Yeah,
good example.
definitely.
But and one thing I want to point out right away is it doesn't always have to, and I think you mentioned asexual, it doesn't always have to involve sex.
I was wondering. That's what I was
it's not
wondering.
it's not a requirement.
What?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, because a lot of people, even so, spouses, and just I know you want to say that it doesn't necessarily mean that you're married, right?
Right.
You can be in any type of relationship and be in a poly or open relationship. However, what did you just say? The
What did I say?
Cheating, being open,
yes,
honest,
being so.
Open, honest, and
transparent.
Yeah, just lost my thought.
Oh, way to go, Blue.
Rewind. Well, I can do this.
So I got a lot of personal stuff in this
Well,
right
that's what I'm
now.
saying.
Right, it's very
We're trying
personal,
to talk
right?
about all this other stuff, Blue, but just let us know what you. Come on, give us the skinny, Blue.
I'm single.
Oh,
So you're,
I'm talking
you're
about
single and dating.
Yeah,
back in the
single and
day.
dating.
Back in the day. Come
Yeah, I
on.
mean, I had a polyamorous relationship.
Okay.
4 women, right? They all knew about each other. It was, you know, open, honest, and
So was
for
there some
years.
fights going down? Cause
No,
this is
not
how,
ever. Not
Really?
ever.
Okay.
It was more so. Once it happened, it was more so. Once they start talking to each other, because that happened, jealousy then began to set in. Because like, oh my goodness, you did this with this person, you did this with that person.
Right.
You know, and then it's just time factor, being able to make time for those individuals, because just like he was, that's where I was going. You know, it doesn't necessarily have to be about sex. It can be just
Right.
about sharing time with someone and being intimate. And this is what I was going to about cheating. You know, if you were married, but your wife went out to, or your husband went out to lunch or dinner with one coworker, and that coworker liked them, right? That person didn't have anything. Would you consider that cheating? You know what I mean? Just because, you know, that person wanted to. I mean, why would your spouse want to go spend time with another person alone in the intimate?
And that's
setting?
where I think sometimes that's where I find the monogamous world a little bit confining.
Mm-hmm.
Because if I was monogamous, I might have to do a lot of explanation as to, it's like, why are you having lunch with that person? And so the non-monogamy world gives me that flexibility and that freedom to say, look, I am going to have, here's my schedule in advance, I'm going to have lunch with this person.
Right.
And it's just lunch.
Just
you know
lunch.
what I mean?
Right.
There's one woman that the woman who runs the group with me, we have a very intense, intimate relationship. There's no sex involved right now. So, but I would
thought this
regard
was
her
all
as,
about the sex.
yeah, no.
Well, that's what I wanted to kind of just touch on, is that to me, cheating is like kissing or sleeping with somebody else. Like, if I have lunch with you, Blue, or have lunch with you, Matt, it's like, I'm not cheating on my spouse. That's ridiculous. But when it starts to be like a romantic element involved, and we're talking about like, you know.
But I mean, just to be honest, when you go out with someone, that romance can happen like that. It can be triggered by you eating a shrimp, your lips touching that shrimp, and like, damn, she look good. Like, man, or dang, he look. You know what I mean? Like, it just.
So shrimp is a turn on.
No.
Shrimp.
I didn't have shrimp yesterday. I'm just saying, but
Have
no.
that shrimp.
He was at the concierge.
Okay, I love the concierge. But do you guys know what I'm saying though? Like, that's what my definition of cheating is actually like sleeping with other people. So let me ask, how does that work in the world of non-monogamy with sleeping with other people? Like you just mentioned, okay, you're in a situation with a person and you're dating his wife. So, and I don't want to put you guys on blast. I don't know you guys' business, but like, you know, is that crossing the line if you decided to sleep with her, or he's just okay with you taking her to dinner only? Because if he found out, oh, now we're sleeping together, now it's going to be some blows, some fights going on. I'm all about the Jerry Springer. I'm like, what's up with Jerry Springer?
I mean, first of all, I don't mind talking about myself. That's
Okay.
the open part. I'm an open book on this, so you can't get too personal with me.
Cool.
And, you know, I mean, I guess it's kind of difficult to explain other than the fact that, you know, I think, like, he started dating my partner first, and I knew that they were going to have sex. Like, I just knew that was going to happen.
Right.
I could see the connection. And when I started dating his wife, I'm pretty sure he would say the same thing. Like, there was an expectation that if it worked out, there would be sex involved.
And so everybody's just okay with that? Is there like, hey, are we all, you know, STD screened? Are you guys using protection?
Right. Oh, yeah,
like,
sure.
what are the precautions that you guys take, or the type of conversations that you have to say, hey, look, it's okay to sleep with my wife. Go for it.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know. I want to know how it is.
There's definitely that's a good point. There's definitely the STI discussion up front.
Yes, this is good to know. Because if somebody's got herpes, I'm out.
Well,
I'm out of the triangle.
You're so funny.
And that's
Take me out.
that's a whole other topic too. You know, sometimes HSV1 or HSV2 might be a deal breaker for a relationship, might not be for others. Of course, protection, you know, is involved. It is very complicated, but what
I do want to know though, do you have a conversation with the husband before you go out with the wife, or the wife just comes in and say, hey, I think we should go out, and you just make a time, and then not and have
well,
a conversation?
here's what happened is I texted her, we were talking, and I texted her and I said, hey, how would you feel about going on a date with me? And she's like, yeah, sure, I'm fine about that. And she said, how is your partner feeling about that? And I said, well, we'd actually already talked about it, and she's great. I said, did you talk with your husband? And she said, yes, and he's fine with it too. So then it was on.
Right.
And that is the value, is there is absolutely no reason for me to date her without everyone else knowing in the non-monogamous world. It totally defeats the purpose.
Right. That's like an affair. It
and
turns into an affair when it's secret.
So you're saying you should go out with someone, I mean, you should let them know before you go out with them, in all instances, or
to keep the transparency.
To keep the transparency, or like, would you go out and say, "Hey, I'm not saying anything because you don't know where something may end up going."
If I have a date with somebody, it's first of all I share a calendar with my partner, and I'm going to tell this person, hey, I met this person at this party, we kind of have a connection, so we're gonna go out. Usually it's like a, first date's usually a lunch or some sort of dinner or drinks or something like that.
Casual.
Yeah, so I would say, yeah, I have this date with this person, heads up, and let's talk about it.
So when your partner came to you, like at the core, deep down, how did you feel about it at first? Did you have him like, oh my God, really?
Oh yeah, and don't get me wrong,
Right.
when she started dating this person, I struggled.
A little jealous?
Oh, yeah.
A little jealous?
Yeah, definitely. I mean,
Be honest.
people sometimes think that, oh, you're in non-monogamy, you're not going to have jealousy, and that's just not the case.
Right.
I would think that would almost make you like a sociopath not to have a type of emotion,
Right.
Because you have a physical
Right.
or an emotional, or physical and emotional attachment to someone. You have
Oh, yeah.
feelings invested, and then to foresee that happen that's outside of the social norm, you most certainly should have some type of emotion about that.
And in non-monogamy, we work with people or teach people that, look, you're going to have these emotions, and then we offer tools on how to deal with that emotion.
So how do you deal with it?
I didn't do a very good job. Honestly, it was tough.
It was
I
tough.
almost went. This is what I
This thing
mentioned.
out. Let me get this gun
Yeah,
out. He was almost a guy on not Columbine. What to do?
It
Snap.
just seemed like to happen all so fast. I almost went, I went through a period of just a couple months ago where I thought, man, I'm going to go back to being monogamous. I just cannot deal with my partner dating another person.
Mm-hmm.
Had a really tough time. But then, after, I actually had a date with a monogamous woman. I had a great time. We're still in touch. But I came to realize that the thing that is difficult for me is monogamy. Is non-monogamy is difficult for me at times. But if I'm comfortable, I am not growing. Okay?
Right.
If I'm uncomfortable, that means I get a chance to examine why I'm uncomfortable, unpack it, take a look at this, and it's an opportunity for personal growth.
Right.
So I made the choice to stick in non-monogamy instead of running for the hills, as my partners were saying I was doing. I made the choice to stick in non-monogamy because, hey, here's an opportunity to learn where are these feelings coming from, and work on myself and do better. And sometimes people think, oh, you're in non-monogamy and once you're in non-monogamy, you have to be in non-monogamy, and that's not true. There's nothing wrong with taking a breath, stepping back, saying, hey, I need some space, I need some time to work on this.
So a couple of questions with that. So then is there like a pamphlet or a booklet or a manual for exercises that you can be able to, or to be able to go into those deep just a background on yourself? Like, are you psych major, sociology major by chance, or just study internal self?
I'm not I'm a certified life and relationship coach.
Okay.
But I'm not, I didn't take any of this stuff in school.
Right.
There are all sorts of books and manuals. There are conferences. There are podcasts. And there are groups. I mean, this group that I run, the reason we put this together is because people come into this and they struggle and they don't know. Sometimes they're in it and they don't even know how they got in it. We offer. Sorry, my brain is getting ahead of my. Yeah.
That's okay.
There's all sorts of support.
Gotcha. No, yeah, I can see the passion, and I can definitely understand, because I can see how something like this can be actually beneficial.
You guys are the epitome of the status. It's complicated.
It is complicated, but I don't think there's anything wrong with acknowledging that.
Right.
And the complication actually comes from within. People say, oh my God, non-monogamy is so hard. Yeah, it's hard, but what's hard is dealing with you.
Right.
Learning
Your
about
own
yourself.
personal issues. Can you tell us about your group that you guys have
Yeah,
started,
sure.
and just some information and share with the community? I know it's maybe like a closed group, but just, some info.
Well, one of my partners and I founded a group called Open, Organization for the Practice of Ethical Non-Monogamy, and that term came from another partner. And it's based on Meetup. It's based here in Phoenix. And we offer social and educational and support events on a regular basis. So people join Meetup, They submit an application. If we feel the application is well thought out, we'll approve you, and then you can just come to our meetings.
I see.
And like, you know, we do everything from like pool parties and birthday parties to dinners where we pick a topic
Right.
and talk about it.
What are some of the topics you guys discuss?
You know, jealousy is an easy target. That's also a topic. We talk about how to date how to date online as a non-monogamous person. We talk about how to schedule, plan your time with people. You know, communication is a big thing. So it's a lot of the topics that we choose are relationship topics that any monogamous couple might deal with.
Right.
But it's kind of exponential because you're dealing now with 2 or 3 people.
Right. And you take it from the perspective of non-monogamy. So like when you meet somebody new, do you just upfront say, hey, look, I'm not into monogamy, that's not my thing, so, you know what I mean? You just
Yes.
you're upfront with it?
Yeah. Like I have an okay, did you? I don't,
Look, you look so serious.
I'm listening.
Yeah,
Taking
like
notes.
I have a profile on OkCupid,
Okay.
and I clearly state I'm non-monogamous.
I see.
Generally, it's funny, the OkCupid profile, the people I meet are generally, I use it as a networking or a recruitment tool. It seems like, hey, we've got this group, you know.
Right.
But, yeah, and there's also a thing where dating within your own species, which means that you hang out with other non-monogamous people,
Right.
and you date within that. It's difficult to date outside of that sometimes because if you meet someone you're attracted to who doesn't identify as non-monogamous right away, some people don't like to do that because you spend a lot of time educating them as well as trying to develop a personal relationship.
Right.
There are some people that say, I'm not going to date anyone who hasn't been in the non-monogamous community for a couple of years.
Right.
You know, has a little bit of experience
Sure.
under their belt.
That makes sense.
And not so much for me. I like the education part.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's all about being upfront.
Yeah.
So
I just
basically,
think, Go
he
ahead.
likes monogamous virgins that haven't been non-monogamized yet.
no, because he wants to educate and
He
recruit
wants to
them. That's
educate
what
and
I hear you
recruit them.
saying in your mind,
No,
Matt.
no
We've
recruiting.
exposed you. We're
I
exposed.
know.
Just
This is
kidding.
like,
Just
yeah.
kidding. No, you made it very clear. You
Yeah.
know, it's everybody's decision. And again, like I said, people are over 18. You're grown. It's up to you to make the decision to or to not. And I just feel like I said before, I believe in monogamy, but I feel
Right.
like in today's society where people are having so much infidelity, so much cheating, all the lies, all the deceit, it's like, hey, just be open and honest so that everybody is aware, everybody's on the same page, and people can agree to wanting to live that lifestyle or not. So actually, you know, I'm pro the openness of being open. Let's just be open.
And you can take those tools and apply them. I fully support your decision to be monogamous.
Thank you,
If
Matt.
you can work and create a successful monogamous relationship, go.
Because I like to throw bows. If I see my man on the street with somebody else, I'm swinging.
Just coming out with all bats and woodworks. I'm on Facebook right now, and you know, they actually have an open relationship status.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
yeah, open
Very
relationship
nice.
status, yes.
I love that.
Right above it's complicated.
That's
Okay.
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But I think
There's a
that
ton.
this is going to be something that's going to be becoming more popular.
It's-
Before, I think it was shunned on, but now, because, you know, everybody has been dealing with so much infidelity and the cheating and whatever. But then, too, hey, people are married that are doing this. So if both of the spouses agree, what's the problem? Just keep it open, keep it honest. You know, I just like to stir up new conversations.
Yeah.
You know, we have to be supportive of everybody's views and perspectives, even if you don't agree with it or not.
Yeah, it's definitely becoming more popular. I would, you know, if you're a couple thinking about doing this, I would strongly encourage you to do some research
Right.
before you get into the community.
Don't just dive right in.
I used to, yeah.
Probably not.
I used to be more of like, hey, just get into the pool, and since I've been around a little bit longer, I've kind of retracted that a
Sure.
little bit.
That
But
makes sense.
at the same time, You can study and research, and you can become a total expert or an academic expert on it, but you are eventually going to have to jump into the pool and experience. The thing is that once you do, you better be ready to learn about things that you didn't know were existed. It's going to poke holes. It's going to expose cracks.
Yes.
So you have to be prepared.
No ego. Put your ego to the side. Well, you guys, I really appreciate us having this open, candid conversation about, non-monogamy, open relationships. I wish you guys the best in your situations. I'm just going to stay in my lane. Stay in my lane.
It's okay. You can swerve in between lanes every now and then.
When I'm single, I swerve.
Just like people do in traffic.
Right.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like, if you want to be single, be single. If you want to be in a relationship, and it's monogamous, then that's what you should do. Just don't try to bob and weave in between, because then it confuses people, it hurts hearts, and then people start throwing bows, like Jerry Springer.
Right. This is so true, and it's more so than not, because then you'll,
Right. Got problems.
you got problems.
We don't need any extra problems.
None, no extra ones.
So, you guys, thanks so much for tuning into this week's episode, Let's Talk Life. Matt, thank you for coming.
Yeah, pleasure to be here, for sure. You guys are awesome.
Thanks, Matt.
You're a part of the Radio Phoenix family now.
Woohoo!
And Blue is officially a part of the Radio Phoenix family, so you guys will see much more of this handsome guy. Just don't bring your 4 wives with you.
None.
I'm just kidding.
0 wives.
Okay.
That would have been great, though. Everyone in here.
We should just do a whole little kumbaya powwow. Let's do it.
I like my time right now. I like being single. It's cool.
Okay, guys. Thanks again.
You bet. Thank you.
So funny.